30 5 kilos no ne boy den Abetime farms Chinese no to madam Fefe Joseph export at the rice no China 5 times expensive than perfume rice at China they bro ko catfish egu Abetime farms our ye di free ad China ye ton bi Ghana market wow farms no to free nsem Joseph farm ni di no on the kgt ayi bridge no Pemberley bridge no on the Abetime farms kokosha rice for export at China. Yes, from Ghana, Republic of Ghana.
And any or no export of rice free.
Your bottom not on high quality rice in the amount.
Hey,
Obiaduma. Yeah, kwasi afo.
Debi ye bottom no eba ha na ye no.
They say
quality ne ya.
They say the rice na wo ye na Abetime no. Ghana rice. Ye de no. Esi yen asase so no. O say sa rice no. On the do Ghana China, or turn special hotels and special shops. On turn ordinary supermarket to Ghana for rice. Ye bukuma and son of the rice nako. A common pen from Zomini. Customs volume said, or export rice to China. Now got top perfume rice, not boy, they're not to come and everything. Yeah, perfume of what Jimmy say? What Jimmy say better than here?
I will share my baby aqua by the end of that year, Doctor. And any day my Baba body and I share video near the train como. In como it's a Saturday, yeah, more and como. A foul my Ghana. I mean, chia a year jataba, mean chia your lifestyle. One more YouTube and see na me mamunina makwaba. Many more didn't come many be call left right into move free me. Ja, mensa any fan a year, me streaming live over YouTube, na mensa benkum a year Facebook. Anyway, share the video. Now anyway, we have some conversation. In Komo bini yebedi, enyadi ameche, otiasi yeba bedi in Komo. Very, very simple. Eja, I was going through some, a friend is saying, files be, and eja, over the weekend, Juma nipe for the next week. I was going through with my way, with one American junior of my Ghana home. As usual, Major Junior my Ghana on am say, hey, I did asem na ekoso, a one minya and free northern region. Minya and free northern region, MPP for one northern region, one more the a year, one more the press statement to be sending me. Now, maybe some many muna a press statement, the moon come on, but some many muna a didn't come out a war press statement. Anyway, as something you know, say, you know, one northern region almost support to MPP, almost say, almost from serial callers. Then a serial callers, no, almost say, almost northern region, almost say, almost cause strike. Usha any woman say, I hope say you see it very good. Into northern region, serial callers almost cause strike. And almost the press statement about one thing. Almost the 2 pages. 2 pages press statement. Normally about one thing. The omo can say any memoir thing. Omo friend me with phone, so omo complaining very, very bitterly. Umar Farouk, Umar Farouk, Anna Abdul Jair, ono, ano omudi ejumedi ano, Anna by consulting the Bible, Anna Fatau, womo enyina, asema omo can say. MPP by Northern Region, serial callers, MPP for and share womo, and Tiniwomo, they are going on strike for poor welfare and also a year remuneration, and then that womo call a home strike. Womo chair said, yen show womu ye, or my sitting name, yen show mu ye cry, Jikanza Mwakwaba, almost so my sitting name, yen show mu ye, Auntie Barbara, I see you, LC, I see you, Endo. Bushaba Bomodiana share video no, and then you return. We are coming here to have a conversation about our country Ghana. Minya me page me mau akwabanso. Now the complaint is coming from the new patriotic party members our northern region. Now one more press statement, and I would like to read a little bit for you. Ewahase. Assembly normal comes MPP serial callers in the northern region are on strike for poor welfare and remuneration. And say, fellow patriots, we wish to announce our decision to all major stakeholders in our beloved party, New Patriotic Party, our friends in the media and the general public to cease communicating for and on behalf of the party and the government with immediate effect. And said this development has become necessary following the increasing frustration of our members as a result of failed promises by our party regional executives for some years now to cater for the socio-economic welfare of our members. The reason why I want us to have a conversation on this particular press statement, very, very important. And it's important because if MPP leaders today are saying to Ghanaians, say, if they vote for Ayeba Umia, they will do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R. Then we have to ask ourselves, say, what party members now, how do they treat them? How do they take care of them? And then now they acquire say, if they cannot even take care of their own party members, their own communicators, then ask yourself, how can they take care of our dear nation? Already we've seen 8 years. It's no more 7 years. We've seen 8 years of the MPP administration, and you and I will attest to it, that when it comes to this particular MPP administration, I mean, you know the outcome. The outcome is that the price of kinky is not as the same in 2016. You know the outcome. Say the fuel prices are on a rise. You know the outcome. That, I mean, goods and services on the market, the prices of goods and services are on a high. I've heard a lot of people saying, say, oh, after all, the UK has even declared, a friend is saying, you know, on a low, UK cry no CCA, Newman Koyi, what you see, recession, UK CCA, no, and Newman Koyi, Intino, come on, say UK Newman Koyi, and Ghana, so Newman Koyi, we should say hallelujah. After all, you see, politicians are they are inferior people. Obi or politician biano or they standard never say UK Newman Koyi intino. And say ye na enkoye the engine to me no. There and then no, I know to say that politician is an inferior person. He ought not to lead human beings. What you say, our politician, I just said you. When in nine and it's now a young room, no, I shall almost as a shepherd. What you say, because in this life, every country and everybody be our pressure would be. That is why you and I wake up and go to work and making sure say our children don't go hungry because we want a better future for them. What about in a country, every country wants the best for their people. What you say? It is a kwabana it should not mean say God in God's back at the end so and say. What you say? Ebi a nneɛma a meme wɔ no, God in God's back no ni bi. Nneɛma bɛn na meme wɔ gold. God in God's back man wo mu ni gold. Yɛn tu gold wɔ UK. Wo mu de ni yɛ coal no so mu tu amanasa. And then omde a friends of the other underground system. And the UFA UK most of the places the underground system used to be coal mining areas. What you say used to be coal mining areas. People go there and go and mine. What you say? Lithium UK for nibi. And in today's world, the telecommunication, it drives on a lithium. What you say? Now that we are going into a different era, what you say? Powered by our cars are being powered by electricity. We need lithium batteries and other stuff. What you say? And so you cannot say a UK there necessarily no Ghana the so and yes say bad. We sir, you are not a good leader. We sir means say you won't win it. Now let me explain something to you. And it took me years to come up with this particular definition, many years. And based on certain research, and I came across this. Who is a leader? When we talk about leadership, Granwa, what is leadership? obetie say o abrochire for de abrofo no de omo de no ye mane ye ade na ye de no ye ya enye. Now let me just explain it to you. You can write it down. I told you, anytime you see me on Facebook, take your book, take your pen, and let's learn. What you say? Let's learn. Now, leadership simply means, leadership is the capacity. I'm just trying to read what I've written down, so you also write it. What you say? Also, until also to was it natural. Noble, I see you, sis. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated by passion, motivated by vision, birthed by conviction, produced by a purpose. So, without quoting this for you, then you have to understand, say, our leaders are inspiration being and only influence the youth to become great for us to be able to solve our own problems. Number two, you have to understand, say, with leadership, you need to generate a certain passion. The passion, Felida, I see you. The passion to solve the problems of your people is a passion. So when you come to United Kingdom, it's a calling for the leaders, the labor leaders, the conservative leaders. They see it as a calling. Now, when we say something is a calling, it means that you need to sacrifice. You need to be selfless. You need to, forgo a lot of things that you will love. So when you see leaders not on sacrifice here, then there's a big question mark. And you see our leaders, they give us promises. They promise heaven and earth for heaven for us here on earth. But when it comes to fulfilling, they are unable to fulfill. It's because the word sacrifice is not in their DNA. The word sacrifice, they see it say, once they are going to sacrifice, it's like something precious is going to be taken away from them. So when you see Bawumia talking to Ghanaians, he's not talking about how he's going to sacrifice. When you hear President Akufo-Addo talking to Ghanaians, he's not talking about how he's going to sacrifice, let alone demonstrate to us the sacrifices for the nation. So because they see it to say, once they are going to sacrifice, it means that there's something precious they are going to lose. And to them, they don't want to lose that thing precious to them. They don't want to lose enjoying, a friend is saying, 14,000 pounds an hour plane. So you saw Akufo-Addo during the days when Ghana, he was renting plane, luxurious, because he didn't want to sacrifice by going with a Gulf Stream. No, their money no. As a president, he was not thinking about sacrificing for his nation. So when you see these people parading themselves like the Bawumias, the Akufo-Addos, promises. Now today, Ghana has become promises. Ghana is all about promises. And if you go on the social media, you follow politicians. You and I will agree, say, your conversation, your promises in kwa. Bawumia be promise, NDC be promise, and the worst part is this particular MPP. One the promises na kwese almost sorry anopa, ye the one lagatin. Ye the one promise, go and promise, and atakra michia papa paying. Ebra paying michia. Akwese bibia na kwese yanko kanchira womo. You see, and it's because they have not trained themselves to sacrifice for our dear nation. And it's all because they don't have that passion. the passion to solve our problems. Ulko noble pager, ne display picture, sebi yenuanom emma ye from kaya ya de headpan headpan is because our leaders for years have not taken it upon themselves, especially the male leaders. Nana, oh, I see you. The male leaders, no, they've not taken it upon themselves to solve our problems. What do you say? God, say, I see you. Inti sa ushe subai no a wobudi dead no a de bia no eye boshe. O mind to say Ghana no. We a leader, enye se oba beshe bo. We a leader, enye se oba na obeshe yembo. Because enye kura ye need natural resources no. Enye kura we have the natural resources. Into wood and woba, you assemble for the nation the best. And if you have to assemble, Ishmael, I greet you. And if you have to assemble for the nation the best, you take the 16 region, and you scout the best people who can lead the nation, best people who will sacrifice for us, people that have the passion, people that have the vision, people that have the conviction, people that are purposefully driven. One more purpose. Into a Soriano pa. He is being driven by a purpose. Bibintin was Soriano pa. Bibinti and was see oba ye. A friend is saying road with concrete. Bibinti say the natural resources now one materials now or one will. This is what it can do for him. Yadiano. Our leaders don't do this. So you see that followers are always following the leaders and they are always going hungry. And that is why today you see MPP serial callers in the northern region saying they are going on strike for poor welfare and remuneration because the leaders that are supposed to lead them and make their lives better are not thinkers, are not visionary men and visionary women. That is the problem why we suffer. When people can't fix our problems for us, when people can't fix our problem for us, do you know what they do? They tend to blame their failures on other things. What do you say? So when you look at our leaders, they are blaming their failures on Russia-Ukraine war. La ai la la. They are blaming their problems on other things as, they are comparing their failures to the failures of the United Kingdom. Oh, Britain for no cramo watching womo. Indians young watching a normal sabio wenimwa Jimmy. You fail to think. That is why you are suffering. Because when it comes to the raw materials, when it comes to the God-given blessings in terms of natural resources, onyame wanya wa brought to said your Singapore, onyame wa man anya ding to said your man the timu ye ding edema Malaysia for. And I'm saying it boldly. God was wicked to the Singaporeans. Yes, and I'll say it again. Nyankopon man itimi ye ding e de kire Singapore for e de ntra e won wo kwa gold ni wo e won wo kwa timber ni wo e won wo kwa lithium ni wo e won de wo ye insuo e na wo. So they depend on fishing. Now fishing kran bosome no so kran no a and even the difficulties of that weather because of baby a woman country is being positioned. But yet, when you wanya ya bro, utwe bro, egu bebia, efifi, you don't need any mechanized system to plant corn. But yet, you cry a bro. Can you imagine? Mabel, I see you. Yet, you cry in Kruma. Yet, you crack tomatoes. You see, the last time I was having a conversation with one of our brothers in the north, he's a lecturer, UD, University of Developmental, there, beside our northern region, UDS or something like that. And he was saying to me, he said, Doc, can you imagine, said tomato no, and I northern region, and no behind the call for no one northern, no, what would they call Niger? And then Niger for no, yeah, kind of tomato no, and Adrian. And no being any Niger for the Adria is very good for their soil. And you know, Womudia and no more Ghana, the enu, and I yano a yeduabino. And I'm saying, ye nimdiano to have irrigational purposes. Sorry, Burkina Faso. Ye ni nimdiano for irrigational purposes. You know, afibiano, ye kwa krabe no free Burkina for. You see, these things, you know, and yet the fault of Akwesi Broni, and yet the fault of Obiao, it is the fault of us. We have refused to be thinkers. We have refused to be visionary men. We are marking time to wait for the day we die. That is how we become. That is how the black race, the Ghana Kronoa, now here the beacon and hope for Nipatuntumbia all over the world. No, this is what we have become. Years ago, the Nigerians were even ashamed to even compare themselves to us because they saw us and said, oh, as for Ghana, they adored us. Oko Sierra Leone, Oko Senegal, Oko Guinea, Oko a friend said Burkina Faso, Egypt. You name the countries. Once you're here, say you are a Ghanaian, you are being adored. They said you are Europe. That's what we say, oh, we free Great Britain. We are German citizen. They adore you because they know you are coming from a country where you are respected. You've earned their respect. But yeah, you know, after the Kwame Nkrumahs and co, you know, we've not been able to, you know, capitalize on that gains of the forefathers to become great when it comes to the economy. And we are struggling. And Ubeti way, and I call Yale, me call Harvard, Abdul, I see you. And I call D&D Suku, and I call Suku way, and I train John Maxwell, D&D, all these kind of things. Yeah, the kekaya no reality. They say, a man for university, no mabeti, unemployed graduates association. Now, can you think about this? Where we are Suku, but he is calling himself an unemployment graduate association. It makes me wonder, what kind of society is this? That we've not been able to understand, say, Akwesi Bruni, you know, they are the ones that create their laws. Or soon about for being free, baby, be creating laws for British people. It is the human beings that create their own laws. It is a now person a friend is saying what they normally say, the principle of law. Many a times I quote it here. The principle of law. What does he say? He says that when a law is created, conscience comes alive. From the days of Gordon Gisberg Abreso, we've been doing this same old school addition of theory base. When we know that as a nation, God has given us a special gift. Every Ghanaian has a special gift. And every Ghanaian. And I bet, I put my hand on my heart. Every Ghanaian has a special gift. I discovered this with some of my friends in uni. When Ghanaian Eba give him the opportunity, how man, you will love the Ghanaian. Because this is how we are born. The royal diadems. This is who we are. So the moment we go outside the country called Ghana and we find ourselves in Germany, America, UK, on a good platform, or on Enkrata or the Bibia, the person begins to flourish. Because that spirit, no, it has been activated by the opportunities on the land of somebody's foreign. Kelvin agreed to you. So, yenwa ye tifi no. As ye hunu say, e kronwa ye Ghana no. Which direction do we want to go? What direction? Our direction should not be the same as the direction of Great Britain. Our direction should not be the same as the people in France. No. We have to channel our own direction. We have to go the direction that we want. That others can also see and say, let's copy from them. Let's learn from them. But when it comes to our country, the army is a borrowed system. The police is a borrowed system. Everything in our country is a borrowed system. Look at the people sitting down as lawyers. By force, they have to wear wig. By force. If you don't wear wig, it's something. By force, they have to be under the scorching sun and wear black as a police officer. What is wrong with the faculty, the thinking? Am I making sense to you, my dear brothers and sisters, watching me? We are having a conversation. We are learning. I want your input. What is wrong with us? Because Obroninisha wig, by force, we should also wear wig. Black and white. Come on. Is somebody forcing us? We are not, you see, instead of us making our slave fathers who died on the seas proud, we are making them weep and cry every day in their graves. Oh, yes. Because where is the benefit? That we have been able to learn and move away. What do you mean, Bissau? Everybody wants to become a lawyer. Everybody wants to be in Ghana, no, or be a carpenter, or medium kai, a carpenter, medium penakwahe, or be a mason. Mason. The other day, may share a brand TBS, I'll see a friend in Sunyame. I hope I got the name well. Sunyame, yes. Anna oye mason. No, say media. May your suffer na me mason but the way I all come mason, you could see, sir, he's talking with it in a joy way, but I think I said, when I win your mason, it tells you, says, will be a mason or Ghana. We look down upon the person. But any mason and can wound that him. Any mason, a carpenter, still buying this, who can only dine them, count that one thing, count the biase, and I count the biaso. Obiasu yemwa. Onyesika, opesu sit down. But we don't even respect this profession, this handyman job. No, we look down upon the people because we've been brainwashed to think, say, you have to be a susu collector, a banker. Me, I see bankers as susu collectors. Honestly, I keep telling my friend and saying, Mrs. No, call no. Accounting is annual money wait. I just sometimes tell them we are susu collectors with us and they what the law branding no. And I'm saying why was they be no be susu collectors and they upgrade and he has a sending and he so a banker. Now just me I'm amazing. No man for me see Kamba as a builder, man for me see Kamba. Who you won't get paid. The mindset, the faculty, and it's because we don't have leaders who are visionary. We don't have leaders who can say, this is where we want to go. And in the next 10 years, Ghana is going to manufacture our own cars. And yet the cover body nini bibi frabuchini abe assemble. You see, Ghana manufacture car. That be. Ya be da. Obibini, I see you. Ya be da. Not manufacturing a whole car, but we were manufacturing car tires. And in Nkrumah's time, car be a Renault. Ebe ye biano. Tie na shasi no koba no na shasi no. Ghana was the one manufacturing the car tires. Michelin Wamabeji, they had to go to Côte d'Ivoire, lobby with the president at that time in Côte d'Ivoire, come through the Nzima land, make sure that they buy a lot of rubbers from the farmers, smuggle it through Côte d'Ivoire, had plants in Côte d'Ivoire, producing ties. It became a competition. You took Kwame Nkrumah. Then a lot of farmers, rubber plantation farmers in the western region in the Nzima, they had to turn to Abidjan. They be do a train now ye bubu as almost smuggling their business, no, they collapsed it. That is the reason why I'm mentioning Ebeji Ding. Bonsa tie factory no collapse here. Because the visionary man was not there anymore. So those who came after no couldn't continue because they are not visionary people. They are not thinkers. They don't understand the concept. Everything under the sun has to be done purposefully. Many years ago, Americans, when they are showing their movie, it was not just for fun. When you see the RoboCop, no, how many years ago we were watching RoboCop? Oh, I was a little boy. Very little boy. But not knowing they were trying to tell us that years to come, human beings are going to be friends of robots, deal with robots on just a normal daily basis. The last time I'm in Milton Keynes, you're driving a man who say, robot to be no so one more, so quiet delivery or so quiet, and no so quanamo. She said, we share the way a robot, Nenia Bria, walk quiet delivery. The people have moved from the movies now, and then they are reality. But go to Ghana and see our movies. Ye movie ni Lewin, Kwasia, Abua, Ojain. Now you do be disability near the sereno in the movie. If we say no na fair. If we say no, it is like, okay, we should laugh. Life is not all about laughter. Kabo. Life is not all about laughter. Gabi, if you're always laughing, you will always be a slave. Yes. So look at our movies. It doesn't even challenge the faculty of the young boy watching it. Listen to our music. From the music days of the 1950 songs and the 1960 songs, no, those were songs that were encouraging the black man to fight against segregation. Listen to the Bob Nestamalis. Listen to our people, the OCBCs. They were singing a song, a message. Today, listen to our boys. Nothing to inspire anybody. Listen to our gospel musicians. making noise in the ears of people. The vision. I am having a conversation with you, sir. People will continuously complain because the people leading us, they don't understand. They don't. I've looked in with the leaders. You name the people, name the people. When you want to delve deep into them on a phone conversation, we say, no, they are shallow. They don't understand. They don't even have foreign policies. What even define you, sir? They don't even know. And Nkrumah knew. He was not just sitting down and say he wants to be president too. He did research. He had a research team. Kwame Nkrumah had a research team. Go and ask Olympio. Olympio was the Togolese president. When Nkrumah was fighting for Trans-Togoland, what did Olympio tell Nkrumah? I said, you can only get part of my people to join your country unless you use war of ICU. That was what Olympio was telling Kwame Nkrumah. But Nkrumah told him, said, I'm not going to use war. I will get my people to join me. He used wisdom. He used brains because he had done his research. Had people in the Trans-Togo land, the Voltarian lands, having conversation that they were willing to join and move away from Olympio. The Togo. It's brains. It's wisdom. You've got it. I got it. South America for the Combrofo. We need to use it. We're not using it. That is why today you hear Abrofo Totofifi Wabi. We need to colonize Africa. We need to recolonize Africa. You hear some foolish Abrofo be. It's because those that came after have not been able to put respect on our names. They've not been able to put some form of dignity on our name. They've not been able to say, let's rise above the occasion and let the people understand, what our forefather Nkrumah said, the black man is capable of managing his or her own affairs. It is true we can manage. Because after all, we were not born of any inferior God. No. We are the God. But how can you be a God when all your family and children are displaced in the world? Listen to this. Go to any part of the world. Our people are being mistreated. There's only some few countries that they love us and treat us well. But even that one with a caution. I don't blame them. I mean, blame Wakwesi Bruni. Oh, no. Because I understand. The concept of leadership, I understand. The concept of leadership, they say, the strong survive, the wise excel, the lowly will die foolishly. That is the concept. Because you are complaining that there is cold. Imagine 1,000 years ago when there was no, heaters to warm you in your bedrooms, in your living rooms, in your study rooms. Imagine. They have to survive. They have to come up with ideas to keep themselves warm. They've moved from the days to any cars papa Betty, I see Betty. So today we see it. They are progressing. We are retrogressing. Something that has to take 8 months I see a team we take 8 years. Something that has to be easy for us to accomplish. It will go round, round, round. Don't come and tell me it's a fault of NDCU. Don't tell me it's a fault of MPPO. It's a fault of us, the followers. Our standard have become so low and cheap. We accept T-shirt and we vote. We accept 2 cities and we vote. Go and see Ashanti region. They are doing gold, they are doing mining. When their land is being destroyed, nobody is doing demonstration. I've not seen any chief calling his people 500,000 be on the street. When I was young, I saw one demonstration in Ashanti region. I was around, I think that I was around 11 years or so. I had closed from school. I had to go and meet my dad at Omo Boasi. They will understand. So when my dad me pon school, sometimes I had to go and meet my dad, maybe on the swap on. He's either playing golf or maybe he's doing something at the sports club. I have to go and meet him. Pardon me. Now, this time around, make Kwaku share me, Papa. Hey! That day, as a child, I cried. Me, I got Charlie, that means too. Hey, with him. So, Obuasi is such a way, say there's a lot of, mountains in Kakra, Kra hills, valleys, your man, Kakra, or Tie, Mekono. And I mean, say there are buses. A free, almost a free Kumasi. Nan kofu bebre aba Obuasi aden a omate say minus no ebeko strike nti no mu free Kumasi ebeka minus no ho na omato nto siskoko akere the managers of the company say they need to ensure say they will pay their minus no the junior staff no well. So it was between the junior staff and the senior staff and the managers, the senior managers. And the Kumasi for mama for free Kumasi. What was the reason? Say mines no Obuasi Sports Club here nana. Say mines no egua. Omo Kumasi ni ento omade because workers ni ne Kumasi koto ekoye show etonioma. It is a mines ni gua. It's going to affect the market women in Ashanti region. And because of that, before a year Queen Mothers no. Woma ka womo wabom associations no maka wabom no masoma buses say embeka workers no ho no munye demonstration. Man, I tell you, womo demonstration for almost 1 week. It was too much. Then I asked myself, say, so why can't we do the same thing to ask for development? Yeah, close to Wawas Nana. Oh, you understand? Yes, true. What I say? Why can't we do the same thing for good roads? Any bad roads? The future leaders. Beautiful ladies. Commit me we need your friends a Miss World Ediamai. Sebio. Omit me occupy positions. Abwa mine. I asked myself. Oko Johannesburg. I wish Ghanaian. I wish Senka. You better fire you know Ashanti region, Western North. You better form just go on vacation in Johannesburg. Just go on vacation in Cape Town. See the roads. Why don't you deserve the best things also? Best things are not meant for Akwesi Bronin Kwao. And you Bronin Kwan is when you're the best things in life. And you're brofun kwadano na yeso mo kweso a brofun kwadano de. No, minya. No. You deserve it too. Why my you buy one bonfia na politicians I take him. I was having conversation with some friends who say MPP. MPs no person mu dibi. Ebi mo winni, ebi mo winni ye. Omo mo winni me bu so so chale na nti chale na nanti we dey wo ka be say chale Jack e ka wo mo. This time around me say times 2. Na nipa no me de madwini boot time I will call the first second one na also or say times 2 no. Let's just walk $1 million. Or call $1 million. Obi mu nam 1 point something, all because of person winning. No, obey a flap, obey a friend is an MP. Near Cotonou so about. Look at the amount of money people are spending. Then they will lie you say she knew. Now she knew you will spend 1 million. There is something there. What is there? And they say they use that MP, no. They get their diplomatic passports. They use it to do business for themselves and their family at the expense of the constituency that they hail from. Roberta, I see you. Okomemle sweet pie, I see you. So we have to understand, as the followers, whether you are MPP, whether you are NDC, ask questions. Don't let them use you like that. Don't be used. A big man here in UK, he has companies here. In UK, we're having a conversation. And he said, bro, me just NDC for the jao masama mo jao no mo boa me boa wo pa wo wini yo ba power 2008 we call mo office kra no mo yo mo so mo ni me jao mo na am so na MPP so wo mo kra de aputo wo mo kra de menka kra wo mo kra de aputo. Politicians like to use people. It's coming from one businessman. When you were dealing, Anna, at least, yeah, can be bizarre. These are the things. These are the things. Politicians will use you and dump you. If you put Ghana first, they cannot use you and dump you because they will be afraid of you. They will respect you. I know Ghanaians. When the Reggie Stone didn't come up, I just said, Charlie Ghana for no do and that is the gospel truth. So the politicians take us for cheap. We beg them to come and construct roads for us. Why must we beg them? They're people that are servants. Let me tell you the secret. Our politicians, they fear numbers. They fear no. Don't worry yourself about your educational background. Munya 5,000. Ewo community. Na munya ye. MPs they will come to your house. Hey, when a group leader no, they will come beginning to search you. Group leader ye bani be search you ye bani e ba be hwehwe ne be ma sika. Jisika no na sa frɛ wo nkɔ for na mo san ye biem na mo san che sika ne ndi. So unless you fix our problems, unless you attend to our problems and solve our problems, we are not going to give up. Politicians are afraid of numbers. Because that is what democracy is all about. Democracy is about numbers. Democracy is not about we acting who. No, become a voice. That is why you see politicians, when they hear Shatawale, when they hear Stoneboy, they want to go there because Stoneboy can organize. When Stoneboy wants to go to Ashama and say, hey, I need 5,000 people, he has his fans, they will come out. If not, how many politicians listen to their song? They don't listen, no. Kakrebi. And they jam it to their music. But they are afraid because they know they have the numbers. Yeah, sure, freedom fighters, yeah, see. Ask our brothers. And this freedom fighters, see, Sebio, and the Munyam, it's because they know that we have the numbers. It may not be as huge as theirs is, but they still know. So we can also tap in some of these things and say, no, this time around, Ghana belongs to us, not belongs to only MPP, no NDC. It's for us. What do we want? We live in Volta region. What do we want? We are in Greater Accra. What do we want? Central. What do we want? We should not allow ourselves for MPP Bedinawa. Ebusia de bi wa background na no maka akyere mi o. Wotime kanso na maka akyere mi sremo a. We should not allow politicians to come. Now, sweet words. Yebeye weyama. The people of Cape Coast, are you there? The people of Cape Coast, are you there? They are just so, yes, we are there. We are going to build you harbor. Hey, what as who kasachre on my for Queen Mothers at for, and you cannot honor your promise. The Bible says that any person who cannot honor their promise is a fool. Must you entertain a fool? No. You don't need to waste time in entertaining people like that. Look at how Akufo-Addo has destroyed the economy. Lives have been lost. Those lives that have been lost, they cannot come back. Somebody's father was dead because of this so-called banking cleanup exercise. When the banking cleanup exercise came, Kennedy Akumpre Japan was saying it's the best. And I told him, as I said, so what catch up is a banking cleanup exercise here, the best part there, and a woman part there. The crowd. What is it? What is best about the banking cleanup exercise? Explain to me, sir. Explain to me. Senior Santa Claus, explain to me. Any country that has prosper on the back of how people invest in their banking sector. Because people who wants to do business will go to the bank and access loan. It is all catch them say collapsing banks is the best thing. Then it means you yourself, you don't even understand economics. You don't even understand what you're saying. You can aid the banks. That is why there are so many banks who are broacher. They will do what? They will inject money into it. Until I bet in a Barclays Bank, when you so many years. Ubeti Santander, when you so many years. All of these banks were other banks, and in the government, you say, and you know, recession time, they supported them. So if you have Ghanaian banks, many years people were afraid to go to the bank and invest and save. And people now trust the bank. And we are able to win the citizens to begin to trust banks. And they are saving in banks. They put their monies in banks. And you collapse a bank. What are you doing? You are destroying the system again. The faith that the people had in the bank, that is why you are collapsing it. That is why you are breaking it. And you collapse banks like Dr. Idum's bank. You collapse Kofi Amoabe's bank. Banks that are doing well and employing a lot of people. They were employing a lot of people, thousands of people. Thousands of people were being employed. Do the mathematics and see the number of homes that they were feeding. And you use more money to collapse the bank than what the people needed to stand on their feet. Are you okay? You are mad. You are crazy. You are not a human being. We are bronipa. You destroy your own. Come on. Who does this? We always seem to destroy our own rather than building. Dr. Indum started Coconut Grove. Many of you were young. I remember Coconut Grove those days, AGC 4 Cape Coast, Omoko Accra, they sleep in Coconut Groves Hotel. It belongs to Dr. Indum. It started in the early 80s. He opened his business in the early 80s. He used to be called York, Mr. York. Yes, Dr. Indum. He was taking care of a very prosperous, wealthy American, millionaire at that time. because he was brilliant. These are the things. People suffer, build businesses, and then abruptly we collapse it. Today, I told you, Ken Oforiatta, they are giving him another job. Go and do it. No accountability to the Ghanaian. Ghanaian are quiet. The people are not angry enough. Because for us, Bible say, a man for be preaching. You have to suffer before you gain. Oh, John, how do you suffer to gain? Why must you suffer as a Ghanaian? I don't even understand this analogy. Why must you suffer as a Ghanaian before you gain? You should delete it from your dictionary. I'm being honest to you. You don't need to suffer. You have gold, you have diamond, you have bauxite, you have manganese. You don't need to suffer. Your leaders have to be able to negotiate. Your leaders have to be able to ensure they provide provision for you to thrive. Have you seen a man who has gold and suffering before? That means that man, excuse my French, that man is empty up there. Why do you go to work? You go to work because you don't want your children to suffer. I listened to Old Tabo years ago. He said he used to wear only one trousers, black, and one top, white. And all that he was doing was wash and wear. Does that mean that he's going to allow his children to do wash and wear? Hell no. So why must our leaders tell us that we have to suffer? Suffer for who? The leaders have to implement programs, policies, solutions to take us from poverty. 78 to 1989, Deng Xiaoping took how many people out of poverty? 11 years. He took 700 million people out of poverty. Augustine, I see you. So say our number one problem are journalists and TV and radio media presented. You should observe. You should observe what they present for our people to consume daily. 247, that is how we build a that is it. If they are the problem, if journalists are the problem, you do demonstration against leaders. What prevents you as citizens to demonstrate against journalists? You are a stakeholder. Let nobody kid you, say, Obi be better than you as a Ghanaian. You are part of Ghana. Betty, you are part of Ghana. Augustina, you are part of Ghana. Nana Takra, you are part of Ghana. Jataba, you are part of Ghana. Obibini, you are part of Ghana. Roberta, Betty, Nana O, Ishmael, Yakobo Busia, yesi Ghana na Yakobo Busia. Yankase Akufado na Yakobo Busia. Yesi Ghana na Yakope loan. Arene pankasa ye kopa bosia ye di yedin na ekoje bosia no. Tis a journalist e can sem phone na wo agree a organize demonstration. What you are feeding the people is poisonous. Change it. Because who is a media man? Who is a media person? Who is a media woman? When we say media, it comes from the word mediation. And you're trying to short and you're in the media. So a mediator mediates for the source of information to the people. So media is the middleman between the source of information, and then you take the source, you get the message, the information, you give it to the people as it is, not as you want it to be. So the moment you make the message as you want it to be, you've corrupted the message. So if media people are feeding you people poison, you demonstrate against them. You're chichiri crow. You're chichiri political party. That is what we have to understand. Queen Moshe, that is what you have to understand. But yeah, the other day, they trying to say, I say BBC. No way. You are a stakeholder. Sabio, who could be my son? Now who could do it? Who NDC political party card and a bit do UK France, Germany, whichever country is your choice, Australia or Canada. Almost say I'm in Tambo Mudin. Australia and Canada, I love you all. Oh, Tukwaya. What the Ghana passport ne Tukwaya? That is your identity. You are not identified by any tribe or religion. Get this into your beautiful brain. There is no way. Like I said, we are looking for the people of Akatamanso in UK, the people of MPP in UK. No way. Obisha, oh, you from Ghana, yeah? Yeah. Obisha, so you from Volta region, yeah? Yeah. No, you from Ghana, yeah. You're a Ghanaian, yeah. You are being identified by the country. It means that once you hold the passport of the country, it is also your responsibility to ensure that the country becomes the best in the world, because you are competing with other countries. How do you feel? You call Afconi. How was the feeling? You call Afconi. You were sad. We were sad. We were crying. It was true. You could be second to say the Nigeria for Kudi and Kebe there. Young Kodino, your friend say, Ferry Fenemo Woon, ya this is Alatafono. But you know, because you see it, say, our people did not represent our country well. What do you say? Our people did not represent us well. So you felt ashamed. It's the same way when you live in abroad and you don't have enkrata. Because you hide. You hide. Yes, because back home you don't see there is there is no hope. That is why a human no I and my wife didn't know say David, Dr. Ren, what fire Otuaba TV. A friend is saying, shine your eyes. Kwa 44. Amazing G. And man, why didn't you say these are the only people here freedom fighters? So no. You are also a part of freedom fighters. Whether you are NDC or MPP, your most important obligation is to the country. Yeah, I'm a 2 NDC, baby. Your DNDC by a crowd. Your DMPP no mobile crane what in ono or your can wear TMPP and they want to so a friend is saying the party Akatamanso. What do you say? These are the things. So we need to understand. Say we have to empower ourselves with wisdom. And we should not follow blindly. Because after all, we all have one life to live. You have one life to live on this earth. Enti yentiasi say life is also not a game. What you say? Because Ghana no, ye dinkofo bebrika, ye the China foka, ye the UK foka, America foka, France foka. Until we cannot joke with our life. And like Betty is saying, we must elevate our thinking and thoughts process in seeing positive change, which is very, very true. Why do I say life is not a game? Sunday, I'll be doing this teaching. We'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about the consequences of life, of every decision you take. Because for every decision a man takes, there is consequences. Every decision a woman takes, there is consequences. O decision as oba, yes, I do to a certain man. Sebi, one dreaming about consequences. And intina brantian weja wesi baby no. And intina a brantiano or bull ewo fie no and into na branch no or tete wo no wodwene consequences no ho a and eja wo de kwa adwendwene mu a enka wo decision bi wo wanka branch bi wo wanka wo na nante wa abrabom sanso na nka abawia bi wo so wa abrabom wanka wo na nante because we wodwene consequence no say abawia wo betumi aboa me obetumi aye me boafo obetumi adome se de me dono no obetumi ni mi na abobra enye se me isi dan no ono so usi dan o baabi ye si dan a esi dan bomu no na sabio odo de wodin sika no so usi ono nko a ne hotel e won kuro there be. You have to understand, for every decision a person takes on this earth, there is consequences. And that is the reason why when it comes to the politics of Ghana, no, the decisions that is being taken by the foreign minister, no, it can break companies, it can make people lose their lives, it can destroy families, it can destroy relationships, because one more decision one taken, no, ebema price of goods and services, ebe kosro and ebeba from. The more he introduced taxes as a finance minister, no, the more people will also increase their goods and services they sell on the market or in the marketplaces. These are things you need to understand. Don't just make that decision. Consequences, no. Make kotuaba yaba wumye. Wachinebi, wadinada na ebe breme. When you are indebted, you live for your debtors. That is true. You become a slave to the debtors. Listen, member may say at the end of the day, no, makotwa bakekewu, maji t-shirt, maji tusi, maji kweye emu konko, yesini. Dipa neba no be funny ministers. I really am mono kra unye bi mpo na wedi. T-shirt ni po unye bi na washe. Because what dwene t-shirt nko. What dwene one cap nko. And you made such decision. So I always tell people, consequences are more important than decision. Consequences are more important than decision. Know this. Teach your children this. Teach your family this. Tell your daughter. Tell your son. Yes, you are going to make a decision. But the decision that you are going to make, have you thought about the consequences? I know of a lady friend. And there was some time be a bon komo. I don't say I should thank her mother for her. And I'm sure why? I say, oh, we school no. Omo yan kra na omo ye wo omo ha ne bi. Ti ye beto omo na eja ye de omo nyina. And anti esua ade ne nuama. Na wo kana asem say eja me nda ne maami ase na I'm sure ade so oh. Na oku choose subjects bi. Or no be so okoye courses bi o uni. Na ne maame ka show there be theater and drama no yes any passion there all right e be boan there but at that particular year no na theater and art no drama no na vibe na it was not vibrant because of recession and other things. So people were not putting in money and the government was not putting in money. So ne maame advising and say, why don't you take up this 1 or 2 courses and do it, and it's going to help you. And that in future, no, you can still career change. You can still change if you want to go into a friend is saying, the theater and drama, because age now, within 4 or 5 years, when you finish that particular course, you can get some jobs and you can still do the theater and drama if you still love it. And today, she is one of the best. Ghana, a friend is saying, Ghana nearby, when we are talking about one of the most top chartered accountants in the UK, I heard about 2 different hospitals in the UK. It's not easy. Even one hospital, crown on you easy. Or one hospital, or share another hospital. So I know your contract based on, and she is making the figures, making big because she knew numbers. Now what being or Martin. Now what being on my team now? So it's the consequences. You should study your children. We are papa. You should study your children. Know them. If you're also married, you should know your partners. Study them. Know the certain things. Assembly or can. Would him say kasa me came if you say me kokane keke. We kokan sem keke be better now. You know there are some consequences than the kumem. ada we dwa asa obekwa wo mu ana nante abontia bepese obeba na wife ada so beba na ono so da so da etimpa so a wo twen o ti ase aha we nya lucky na akonya ye manu e wo mo Ghana ni bia no abo mi mfita no di twen e wo gita no. So the most important I make can say consequences are more important than the decision. So you have to keep this until you die. Keep this information until you die. And if you're able to keep this information, you'll be able to stay out of many troubles, and you will excel because and our thing is that our leaders don't think about the consequences. So they make haste or take decisions because if they are thinking about the consequences, they at least they will factor in many things. What you say, especially a Kufuado, if he was thinking about the consequences, said, you will sleep on the couch. That one day for real. if you are thinking about the consequences, a Kufuado, if he was thinking about consequences, at least they are making the consequences. Easy. What you say, consequences. If a Kufuado was thinking about the consequences, at least. Uncle Fu playing £14,000 an hour. Now the Ghanaian child is walking miles to go and fetch water from the river. What you say? And you see any plane your presidential jet. So he was not being, a leader who thought of sacrificing. And he also did not think about the consequences. And the yenisike, my minimum merafui, say yenisika de mo no dia eja omo pension sike omo by force omo fambo mine bosia. Eti no more ye picketing. All these things is because Akufo-Addo wandwene wo mo ho, odwene wo mo ho a enkobehunu say no. That £14,000 one war fufu playing rough no. So Sikano could have gone into that friend is saying, my member of we so it's important that you take notice of this until you die. Don't ever make a decision more important than a friend is saying the consequences, what you say, because a decision gives birth to the consequences. Every decision we see, it gives birth to the consequences. And Obeka say accountability, and that day will come. What you say, mismanage the economy, you will go to IMF. And the IMF is there. They are there, countries and billionaires are there to loan their monies to you, in a form of, making sure at the end of the day, you become a friend and saying slaves to them. And that is why these days we hear them talk anyhow. Abrofuni bini kasa, omuni kasa anyhow. What do you say? So before you take life decisions, study the consequences. Make sure you do your research. Say, MP amekoto abeya money. MP obetimi aboa aye enzema. Watena wache. Daniel Embele Mugabe. NDC MP. The last time Obaye no Fred Blay Embele Mugabe. And they watena since 2008. On fans such a by bia or to parliament. Nins you say. Uko ayenzema MP ni wo insu ne say Elembele constituency no Kofi Amaboa NDC for one deputy minority leader the krom ye galamsey yes say insu he is not talking, he's not doing anything about it, and he akwa fan man position as a deputy minority leader. DNT ne hwe so de koye no deputy minority leader. Is it because menka eno de meka I'm repape ready nyagopo kama no ye my bomb menka because kaka craving kameka the entire year no the entire mahama mo primary year because of to kesi binti de menka re yem fancy anyway. Emmanuel, I greet you. Thanks brother. What journey late, but don't worry, you can watch. So these are things we all have to understand. We need to get the information, we need to check the alternatives, we need to find a friend and say we need to do research. We need to study the options. That is why when you watch me, I'm not jumping into conclusion to say go and vote for NDC, vote for MPP. I say I do third force. It gives me room for me to critically, assess other people. I don't assess people based on face value. When me didn't command, no. I make sure I do my research. I study the options. I ask for information. I gather information. I check the alternatives. I find historical data about you before I make us say, okay, I want to be with you. Let's roll. Then we roll together. Because one yes, sir, which you become sebio, a fool, and you make a mistake, and you be apologizing all the time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so thanks so much. Thanks so much for tuning in always. For always, sharing the videos of your brother Ren, sharing the videos of Ren. I love all of you. We are all Ghanaians, whether NDC, whether MPP. Sometimes we'll fire each other. It's normal. It's understandable. We live in one home, Ghana home. Sometimes, I'll fire NDC. You can also come and fire me. It's normal. Sometimes I'll fire MPP. You can come fire me. It's normal. Understand that the most important thing is what you say. Thank you so much, Auntie Barbara. And I say at brain we have such conversations. And at the piano I say, my start me preaching. Now no a year NDC ni be abranti bi fire me kakra. Owie na ofrɛ me. Ofrɛ me na me say na why na afrɛ na me pick call. No so doc na me hwɛ na o kan asɛm bi na asɛm na o kan no ampa me de akwa adwendwenim. Na me ne me wife na ehwɛ o. Me bufu ye but actually me wife catch me say tie papa na kan. Ye nuanom ma ho. Ebi am ka say listen to the women. I say asama me kind say yes we NDC ni, but sometimes you have to question some of the policies at NDC deba. And it's true because I say a basa no na saying omo enkofo bi ba omo area ho ebesra omo one of these European countries ni bi. See, he was able to be bold to ask questions and obisa questions no in sense of form meetings nothing, and they wanted to ask that question but I almost slow ferry be a wumbi show but he got he gathered some courage and asked the questions and obisa see papa paying or can investment me disclosing common how or see papa paying a can a born in same man so what they watching about super yeah there was a obisa science the same way ya try to ye ni answer no ha de but ye be ka ye common no ntino one mo secretary no mo branch ya no mu a bisa no because ye the answer no be man no meetings obe ka kire mo. We should not be afraid to ask questions. When you see John Mahama, Asie Dunketia, Kufuor, whoever, don't be afraid to ask questions. We NDC, ask them. We MPP, ask them. Let them know. So we Nyansanina Uti or Monsemno. Let them know. When you do that, we almost they come prepared. I do after my friend is saying my normal job Monday to Friday. I do Monday to Wednesday. Friend is a radio. That's a fun. It's a hobby. I like it, so I do it. Lately, and come on, to a town and say, hey, Randy, I'll call you show. Dr. Randy, I'll call you show. I'll be our questions be. Why we know with Marco Guasi? So MPP people they always want to come. They want to come prepared. NDC wants to come prepared. MPP wants to come prepared. We have to understand this. I am here, Sam. If you can challenge your leaders in your own political party, they will come out with ideas to move the nation forward. Yakechi dodo. Yakechi. Muko Cote d'Ivoire ya mahunu roads. Nefe. They were killing themselves recently. Cote d'Ivoire. They were killing themselves. Hey, Kofi or say, me too catch Kofi. They were killing themselves recently. But you saw good roads. You saw asphalted road. Mahunu potholes. in cities, in towns. It's because we pamper our leaders so much. Hey, John Mahama, you didn't to myself from. Hey, Yakufuado, you didn't to myself from. Hey, are they? Hey, dear, no, my dear, my. Hey, bro, I didn't interest you. Ghana, no, you the beacon and open. No, nipa 8 million. Any marking kind. Obakacho say education is progressively free. And so what in the airco UK, airco school, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, or the Omoko school. Meanwhile, no, a common people teacher. Only the net to a man team. Una auto ne swaba no be MP. And they obey MP or the Madua brochure. You are not asking questions. Oh, the idea, sorry, now, ma, and I'm Libya. Echo suffer. You are also a stakeholder. These are the things. Let's ask them questions. Ubana Batista, Dr. Remy, you say NDC question. Be happy. Maybe I won't mean yet. Let me do it for you. Provoke them. Because sometimes when provoke them, you won't know who they are. Let me tell you something. I used to have a friend what be rough, Alfred and Kwadiama. Jack. He taught me how to start writing poems. I was class 6 JSS1. He started telling me, of Amedasi, he taught me how to start asking, putting my thoughts on paper, poem. Because I used to rhyme, say certain things, and it was rhyming. And he said, no, he was always challenging me. He was always challenging me. He said, Eja, ubetimi Eja, no, yenye say, Eja yenye say. And to be honest with you, there were certain things that I learned from him, Alfred and Kwadiama, a Voltarian, brilliant chap. Brilliant chap. Ask me here, age out the university. Yeah, corporate sec. Yeah, corporate sec, no. Or no corporate sec, now me quite the Saddle College. You call first year. And or chose 6th form. Or chose 6th form, first year. Yeah, you interview Nyaku could run off 6th form. Or chose 6th form. And Obului. A-level, no. O-level, ni A-level. So 6th form, O-level, A-level. Now, my last batch, I'm be free soon. Satana secondary, ni fade. O-level, no. Form 5, no. O-levels, ni fade. And another secondary, no. Sha, sienka, cranka. Or chose a year O-level, ni A-level. Ano or pass first year or presec. One train or preseco. And a pow. Or call a year University of Denmark. First year University of Denmark, he was one of the outstanding students, pow. Oxford University. At the age of 18, 19, 20, no area uni. And now will be Chromo UK. Brilliant chap. That's why I always tell you, people say, when it comes to me believing in Ghanaians, I believe in Ghanaians more than any other thing. Mami Nigeria, Mami France, Mami then, I believe in my Ghana. Because when you give them the platform, Allah. When it comes to football, don't you see it? When it comes to boxing, now, when it comes to athletics, when it comes to brains, Ghana 14 baby. So what makes me not to believe in my Ghanaian? It's just that we've not created that enabling environment for them to thrive. You cannot tell me, say, Ghanaians were born of any inferior God. Minjindida. Eye enkofobi na abedi enim. Ana omo inspire. Ama sebio. Yeah, catch. Ama make us say Mitchell. Today I will just doing some research about African countries which send home more remittances. Maybe about 10 countries in Africa. They send home more remittances. Number one, the 1994, the last batch, the last, a friend is saying, number 10, Congo. Congo, almost foreign remittances are almost a money coffee. The amount African countries which send home more foreign remittances. Number 10, Congo. We 2022-2023 at the end of America actually. Almost sending 1.7 billion. I'm gonna add number 10, 1.7 billion. See the size of Congo. They send home every year 1.7 billion US dollars. Number 9, Algeria. The size no, and the numbers somewhat went you. They send home, your friend is saying, they send home 1.8 billion US dollars. Number 8, Senegal. Senegal, they send home 2.5 billion US dollars every year. Foreign remittances. So. Number 7, Zimbabwe. 76, the same amount, but number 7, Zimbabwe. Almost sending home 3.1 billion US dollars every year. Number 6, Tunisia. They send home 3.1 billion US dollars every year. Foreign remittances. You know, Munti high. Maybe I may catch them say, I have problems with Inuanuma Wabruchri than Inuanuma Ewofili. And one day I will explain to you why I have issues with you people. Because if we can come together, we will decide the people to lead our nation. Yeah, you know, nobody can bribe us with t-shirt and cup of rice. What you see? Maybe our brothers, the hardship is too real. They will be compromised, lack of employment and other things. But we cannot be compromised because number 5, Kenya. The Kenya, they send home foreign remittances. The statistics in 2022-2023, 4.1 billion US dollars every year. 4.1 billion US dollars. Minyambo Ghana, Meba Ghana. The Kenya is number 5. Ghana, send you see a copy no IMF. No. Ghana, you see a person or IMF. Why would you Mr. catch me? Sika send you see a IMF or a kwaji. Why would you catch me? Ghana is number 4. Afibia 2022. Yes, sending Sika 4.7 billion US dollars a coffee. Where you Sika go through banking system. The menu you acquire this share your pocket, you hide it. Your 5,000, your 10,000, you declare 20K be at share your bag and change, you know. I will be able to. I know. And can't wait home. So it tells you, say, a year no crown, we take home more. But you have the record data are recorded. 4.7 billion US dollars. Now tell me, do we need to go to IMF? Do we need to go to IMF? Why don't we come together as Ghanaians living in the diaspora and form one particular party? Get somebody who has a like mind and who can sacrifice and lead the nation. Number 3 in Morocco, 11.2 billion US dollars. Mars said we went for 3 billion, so that means it's IMF na 3 billion. No crampo no. One day kakranga ebre sope sa. One day sope na ebre. Yensu 2022. Yen in Ghana for a what point you. Outside Ghana, yeah, the 4.7 billion US dollars they come Ghana for. And I yes anke economy nke collapse. Morocco 11.2 billion US dollars. Nigeria number 2, almost 20.1 billion US dollars. Egypt number 1, almost 28.3 billion US dollars. And to per Africa, a kura womo kwa kwentu mu a still womo do womo man, womo dwene womo man ho. No mo di sika ekọ womo man mu. Ghana yetoso number 4. 2022 at the end of my country. Ghana toso number 4. It tells you we love our country. We are ready to change the destiny of our people. That is why you quantum class still a junifie. Where you sika a fa account to move foreign remittances so. And then I'm banko lot and faban. Why must we sit down there for people to dictate who would become leader for our country? Maybe so. Uko DMP crowd I just say British passport, no, they are two baby. Why renounce it? American citizenship. And so you pay footballers, sir. Obi okra dual citizen bi ane amane so nkobobo. Ye pe obi obedi anim obeye MP dia. This all renounce citizenship. There are serious issues. Kojina TikTok aye wo so ye to ye kan nufu asem. This is not the time for us to be nufu sebio kotia. This is not the time. This is the time aye fa adwene. A hye kro no yie. Ye time ye David time. Ye hye the year and ye money ba o ma ba ye Solomon o ma ji o mani. Because ye no obi an hye amaye. Kwame Nkrumah mo hye ma Akufo Addo. And na Akufo Addo sebio omo jimi ye no because omo colleague no omo no biye. Na omo club biye no omo no. So they were not thinkers and visionary people. That is why they've not been able to give us that particular country we want. Yani abetu eni edene no. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters watching me on YouTube. Thank you. We'll sign out here. Thank you.